Before I continue to paint in the highlights and the shadows with the normal Rockwell brush, I need to bring out my custom palettes. In Painter 9, 9.5 and previous versions, we had the custom palettes available to us, and I'm going to go now and bring them out. We have Window, Arrange Palettes, and I'm going to go to something that I set up called Phase Toolbox. And over here I have now a custom toolbox. It's my custom palette that's set up with the brushes that I use more often. For those of you that are familiar with my brushes from before, you are seeing already two new categories. One is the Norman Rockwell category and one is the Impressionistic category. Let me go further to go back to the 9.5 custom palettes. I'm going to go again into Window, Arrange Palettes, Phase 9.5 Custom Palettes. And in here I have all the palettes that I had been using up until Painter 10. The only difference is that I have different icons and a couple of extra categories that are new to 10 that I created especially for 10. Now, I'm going to explain to you what a custom palette is, and after that I am going to introduce to you to the custom workspace. New to Painter 10 is the custom workspace. Up until this version, I was able to show you how to make these custom palettes, how to create them. I gave you all the instructions, but you had to go and do them yourselves. Now, since Painter 10, all I have to do is save this workspace, save it on a little file, and all you have to do is import it, and voila, you're all set up just like my desktop. So first let me show you how to create your own custom palettes if you wanted to, and then I will continue to show you how and what a custom workspace is. So as you see here, I have palettes that you haven't seen before, and if I want to separate them, I'll pull them apart just like that. Let me move that here, take the hand, let me break them all up just separately like that, and I'm making a mess for my desktop. And let's put it back the way it was before. Let's put these down here on the side, just for now. I really don't have to worry that I made a mess because as you saw before, I had set it all up in a save that if I want it all back, I just go to Arrange Palettes, Phase 9.5 Custom Palettes, and boom, it's all back in place. So what's great about it is once you set up your workspace, your custom palettes, it's saved forever. You don't have to worry even if you move it around a little bit. But here we go again. Let me just move out these guys here. And let me show you how to create your own custom palette. The way you do it is first you have to navigate to the brushes that you want and you use most often. So of course I'm navigating directly to my blenders category and I'm going to my grainy water. So if I like, this is the category I want, and I'm going to navigate to the variant that I want, which happens to be grainy water. So I'm going to put my cursor right here, and I'm just going to drag it right out. And now it says here Custom 21, which means that this is already the 21st palette that I have created customly. But you, when the first time you're going to do it, it's going to say number 1, number 2. And I have one brush in here. Now I'm going to continue going to the next brush that I want. Let's say I want to go into the artist category and I want to bring down the impressionist brush. I will put my icon in here and I will drag it out right next to the other one. And I'm slowly building up my custom palette. Let's say I want the same brush but a different variant of that brush. I want now the Surround brush. So I will come down and I will drag it right next to it. And they both look the same. They have the same icon, except how do I know what the difference is? You just have to look on the bottom what it says. That one says Surround, and this one says that it's the Impressionistic. And let me go and bring down just one more brush. If I bring down the Cloners, and it came down here by accident, or I brought down another one and it falls over here, the way you fix it or remove anything or move it around in the palette by holding down the Shift key. Hold down your Shift key till you see a hand, and drag it exactly to where you want it. The other good thing about it is if you decided you don't want this, just hold your shift key down, get that hand, and drag it right out. And it goes poof. And if it's over here, you can just bring it up and move it to exactly where you want. So let's say this is the custom palette that I want. I'm happy with it. I want to save it now. I want to rename it. So I'm going to go to Window, Custom Palette, Organizer. Everything that I want to do to the custom palettes is alive in the organizer. And I'm going to get here my organizer. In here I have all the palettes with their names, and one of them is Custom 21. I highlight it, I hit rename, and I'm going to give it a new name that I want. Let me just call it Phase Example. And I'm just going to say OK. Automatically, you see that the Custom 21 turned into Phase Example. And I'm going to say in here, Done. And now, that palette lives. It's Phase Example. And let's say this is my toolbox. I'll always have it. If I accidentally closed it, and I want to go and find it, I didn't get rid of it. I go into Window. I come into Custom Palette. And I look over here. The ones with the checks are the ones that are open. The ones without the checks are closed. So all I got to do is highlight Phase Example, and it's going to come up again to the last location where it was before you closed it. Okay, let's say I want to do another custom palette. So I'm going to quickly just come in here and pull a bunch of different palettes. I'm going to go and navigate to show you that you can go to anywhere you want. And I'm going to go to the chalk. And let's say this one is only 3 of them. Again, go to Custom 22, go to Window, Custom Palette, Organizer, go to Custom 22, rename it. I'm going to call it Chalks. Whatever. And I'm going to say OK. And I'm going to say Done. So now I have 2 custom palettes, but I want to attach them. The way I would do it is I'll take this one right underneath, look for that little hand, and start going until I see that little black line, let go, and it becomes attached. Okay? And this is the way I collapse them. On the right in that square box is where I close it. Let me close that. That one's gone. The way I'm looking for it is again, Window, Custom Palette, Chalks. There it is. It comes open because it's attached. Isn't that cool? So now I have all my custom palettes created. Let's say I have 2 of them. That's all I need for this this workspace. So for this layout. So what I want is also to attach my color wheel and my layers. Let's say my layer palette is not attached. So first I'm going to come in with my color wheel, look for that same hand and look for that black line and attach it. And then I'm going to come in here and I'm going to take that hand again and look for that black line. And now all these are attached. Okay, let me close these because I can bring these up later. So let's say this is a layout that I like and I want to keep it so that if I mess it up, I want to be able to come back anytime I want for this layout. So I'm going to save this layout. I'm going to go Window, Arrange Palettes, Save Layout. Window, Arrange Palettes, Save Layout. And I'm going to come in here and I'm going to call it Phase Layout. So that every time I need that layout to pop up, I have it. And I'm going to say, OK. Now Phase Layout is there. Let's test it. Let's close a few of these. Let's separate it. I'm going to move it back around here. And let's say I'm closing them all up here. And let me go and set now Window, Arrange Palettes, Phase Layout. And voila, it's back in place.